Maybe big swing. Get their transforms. Now we're ahead. Today we're going to be trying out one of the new decks with the Sacred and Profane cards, and it's going to be a Svalblood deck. So we should talk about him first. Now he is a 10 power, 13 provision unit. Unlike a lot of cards with these big effects in the newer set, he is not doomed, so that's going to come up here. So he's got deploy damage all units by 1. So if your opponent's playing a couple of the new cards, like Gregory and a couple of cards, if you're swarming, this is going to punish pretty hard. If the opponent's swarming, you're going to punish pretty hard. And whenever a Bear Abomination enters inside the battlefield, repeat the deploy ability. And the first time you'll damage 6 damage to units each turn, spell a Svalblood Fanatic on this row. Considering his deploy damages your and your opponent's units, he's probably spawning that Fanatic every time you trigger the deploy, which will then the Fanatic will transform into a Bear Abomination, and you'll get more damage that way. So, very, very, very powerful engine effect here. If you take, especially if you take advantage of that effect of damaging yourself. So, we're gonna be playing a deck based around this guy, and to do that, we're going to be playing Ursine Ritual naturally. We have the Mask of Ouroboros and the discard package. So Mask, Coral, Burna, Morkvarg, and the 2 Skirmishers. You can run a Scald as well. I opted for a Peller, that random 4-position slot down there. Now, as far as the deck, we are running Fukusha. Fukusha is for Melusine. If you don't want to do this, you just cut the Fukusha, cut Melusine. Melusine you can replace with a Heat Wave, so you can deal something like Dagon. Otherwise, you don't really have a good way to do it in this deck. Any of those big new cards you might have a problem with, but you can just get rid of the Melusine for a Heat Wave if you want to do that. It's perfectly fine. I just want to use the Melusine Fukusha here because there is synergies here with the self-damage. And since there's so much self-damage in the deck, I wanted to play Renew, and Melusine's really good for Renew, so I wanted to run her. Just as a good engine card. We don't have... Well, the other thing is that since a lot of these Svalblood cards are cultists, they have some synergies with the Melusine, so we're going to be doing that as well here. Hopefully get some points out of her as a big engine card. And really, she's in here as a Heat Wave bait. We want them to Heat Wave the Melusine so our Svalblood doesn't get Heat Wave so we can revive him. Yeah, that's one of the big reasons we're playing the Melusine here, is to bait the Heat Wave onto her. So then with the Fukusha, like I said, Fukusha is also pretty good for any of the renew cards. Not renew cards, discard cards. There's a couple other cards that are really nice to play with her in this deck, such as the Vildkarl once he transforms, and the Flaminica if your Svalblood's going off. Now we're running Artis. Artis is pretty cool here. He does play out of the deck your Fanatic, which is a Bear Abomination if Artis is on the board, which triggers the Svalblood. And he works really pretty well in conjunction here. There's a lot of the cards that you play with the Svalblood in your deck take advantage of self-damage, and Artis does the same thing. So hopefully you can punish the opponent's tall cards with this, and then hopefully you're not as much affected. Then we have the Svalblood Totem. Now this guy is pretty cool because this gives us 2 Fanatics. Normally you don't play this, but with the extra effect here, he's got the deploy, the order damage allied by unit by 2. That we're just going to use to trigger Fanatics. And that way you can trigger the Fanatics for your Svalblood at the time of your choice instead of waiting for him to do his deploy abilities. I already mentioned the Melusine. I mentioned this card package. We're running Singerfizz right here. This is mainly to revive Svalblood, because you can revive Svalblood with the right. You can't do it with Fukusha because he's a 13 provision, but if you play right, you can bring back Svalblood. So that's our plan here. We're going to play Svalblood twice. The double Svalblood deck. And if you don't bring it back, you can always bring back Melusine if you don't have your Fukusha or something like that. So, yeah. Surf is right here. Double Svalblood. That's what we want to go for. And we have the discards. We have Vildkarl to transform into the champion of Svalblood. A champion's really nice because you bring back the Fukusha for good value. And it has that heal effect. So if you're taking a ton of damage, you can heal himself with something like your leader charges. And then we have the Arnvald. He is now finally going to be probably good, I think, because he gives you the Bear Abomination for Svalblood. Svalblood's going to damage all your stuff down to 1 pretty consistently, so you get the full value from the transform. So I think he's actually going to be good now. And he's a cultist also for the Melusine. And I skipped over Flaminica here for a second, but Flaminica's in here just because if your Svalblood's damaging all of your units by 1 and she's healing all that damage, it's ridiculous value. So she's actually quite good here. You can cut her for a lock like a Gregory Avol or a Jenga Fret if you want. But I want to try out Flaminica just because I like her. With the Arnvold and then Giant Boar. Again, you can cut this for a lock or something. These slots are pretty flexible in here, these 6s. The Flaminica, Boar, these 12 can be whatever you want, and you can cut Melusine as well if you want. And even Fukusha for an Oniromancy if you're more of a consistent deck, or you could take out Fukusha for Tyr. But I wanted to use Tyr in a dedicated warrior deck, so I didn't want to just try them both out in the same deck, so I think it might not be the best use of them. Anyway, moving on, we have the Boar. He's here for that effect to, if everything's damaged, he's going to be big, and if you can just damage one enemy a bunch, he'll be pretty big too. So, ideally, you're going to use the ranged effect a lot of the time. Then we do have the One Restore. It works pretty well here, especially if you're playing Artist, then you play a big guy after. Like, so you for some reason you play Artist, then they bleed out Sval Blood, and he gets hit down. You can renew it with the Ursine Ritual, but really you want to use it on Melusine if you can. But yeah, that's in here. And then we have the Primal Savageries. The Skirmishers I mentioned for this card package. The Savageries are in here. I'm not sure about this. They can be potentially difficult to activate with the Death Blow, but with the theoretically Sval Blood doing a bunch of damage, Melusine's Rain's going to be doing damage. You're going to have pings from the Drummond Berserkers. You should be able to find targets for this, I think. If not, and you want more control, Gutting Slash, fantastic here, just because you're going to do so much damage to the opponent's cards, especially with Sval Blood. Even just to deploy, it should let you Gutting Slash stuff, so that's another consideration. And you can always go for one of the other bronzes if you want, like the Sval Blood Cultist. It's not the best, but you can do it, and with the Sval Blood, you can also maybe get away with running Haymake Protector as well as a decent card. But there's a lot of options in Skellige bronzes, even something like Brockfar Warrior is not bad. And you can always just throw in a Spores or a Squirrel or something too. With the Drummond Berserkers here, it turns into a Bear Abomination. That's nice. It has self-damage. That's nice. It absorbs self-damage, so you can play it when your Artist is out pretty nicely. It's got a lot of synergies with the deck. And it is also a Cultist. And worth knowing, by the way, the Bear Abominations are also Cultists for our Melusine. We got the Peller, the Fanatics. We're actually going to run the Fanatics just because we're playing Artist, and they also combo pretty well. And 2 Armored Drakars. For the 4s, like I said, you can do flexible stuff with these. I went with Drakar just because it absorbs the Sval Blood damage pretty well. It absorbs the Artist damage pretty well. It works pretty well with the deck, I would think. You can also run Priests, by the way, if you want to tuple the 4s and put in Sval Blood Priests. So maybe Savageries, if you don't think you can do the Death Blows. Like, cut 2 Savageries and maybe the Giant Boar. Put in 2 Sval Blood Priests. They work really well with the Drakar. They're good engine cards. So that's an option. And you can also run Cheersec Veteran is the other one I wanted to mention here. This guy, because he heals when he gets knocked down pretty low. So he works well with the Artist as well. But yeah, those are the cards in the deck. We're going to be trying it out. This is our first attempt here at the deck, so I don't expect it to be too optimized or anything, but we'll see what we can do. Here we go. Let's get into a game. We just had one where the guy quit after 1 card, so I'm going to cut that one out. But yeah, we'll pretend this was the beginning. Pretend that someone didn't play Doppler in the wrong row and quit. What do we have? Imposter. Okay. So, poisons could be a problem here. Locks could be a problem. There's Nilfgaard after all. Which means we kind of want this Peller. The Primal Savagery, you don't have too much damage to combine it with, but I think we'd like to use Melusine this round. So put this guy back. The rest of this looks okay. We still have we don't have any discarders, so I guess that means we should put this back. No discarders. Let's play a Drakar. Next turn we'll go Melusine. One thing we have to keep in mind here is if Nilfgaard has access to the one where they Yennefer's Invocation, where they would take our guy. Okay, so this is probably new Nilfgaard stuff. We'll see if we can do anything about it. Should be interesting at the very least. If he's playing Invocation or Heatwave, we want to hit this. But I'd also rather him just not play it at all. So it looks like he's probably just going to end up passing this round. That's completely fine with us. Get a Cultist next to our Melusine. We do want to bleed him next round for sure, because we know he's stacked his deck. He probably has a lot of very expensive cards. So he's probably going to play 4 bronzes here. Or not 4 bronzes, so 4 provisioned cards.
a man like a wheel needs a wheelbarrow.
What do we want to play? I guess we would set up the carryover on our totem. Otherwise, totem should sort of convince him he doesn't want to keep playing this round. So right now we have a lot of gold, so we don't want to play. Alright, so our move scene's up to like a 15. Right? 15. She might get banished or something. So we don't want to rely on her too much with the Fuchsia. But I do want to try and use Small Blood this next round. Especially now that we got the Fulminica. This is really good. The Fulminica mitigates so much damage with the Small Blood. We don't have a discard again, though. I have to put back Pallor. This hand really isn't great, but we do want to bleed him. Problem is we don't really have anything going for us here. I suspect we don't win a long round. Yeah, I just suspect we don't win a long round here. We could go for a revive on our Melusine. Then use her. Okay, we'll do that. We'll go for this. The reason I kind of like this is you can't invocation her and take her. We want to bleed him out here, and Melusine's a good start. Okay, so he played Yonkelwait, and he still had golds in his deck, which means these are all gold cards. Where he kept... Oh no, because he drew off the top, right? He didn't draw all of his gold cards. Interesting. Very interesting. I was hoping to play something small so we could hit it with a Savagery, but he did not. I don't really want to all in here by using Small Blood, especially because we don't have enough guys yet. We do need a cultist next to her. Right, here's what we'll do. We'll just play Morkvarg, and then Melusine will kill him eventually, and we'll get value that way. Do the operator, yep. Okay, so this is what we want to watch out for. Something like this going on. This is why we want to keep playing here. Now do we Small Blood this round is the question. We want to kill this. We want to kill this. We have ways to kill it. But we have ways to kill it that benefit us. I think we play the Small Blood. I think we just kill this. We don't want him, Duchess's informanting it. For sure. He'll play Arnvald next turn. Back our Morkvarg. And hopefully we can kill these. Hopefully. No, not yet. This is working out pretty well. We have a Savagery next turn we can use. He has to go for his Vilgeforce Renegade here. Let's just check our graveyard. There's nothing good he's going to get from us yet. No, these are going to die. They have Assimilate, but we can kill at least one here. We'll definitely kill one. That'll wipe another. We rain this row. We'll hold this for next turn so we can trigger the Yeah. Just can't keep up with the Svalbard blowing everything away. Quite nice. Didn't even need the Fulminica here. That worked really well. Vampires. Interesting. We'll see what they're going to make use of if they're using any of the new cards now. We've got 2 discard fodders here. We're going second, but no, we have a burn actually. I didn't see her for a second. This is looking pretty decent. I would like an Artis actually. This round looks pretty good for an Artis. I'll put you back. Oh, I want to have that. Burner will discard 2. We're missing Coral, which we'd like to see. This is fine. We're going to play Melusine this round. What do we play with Melusine? I think we can't burn her right now. Just play a Drakkar, I guess. And I love the Svalbard art, it's so good. Look at that. Such a good premium. Okay, so we see a Neckers here, so this could be Golden Necker vampires. It could also be Renfri vampires. Play Melusine. She's got Veil, so it means he can't start stacking bleeding on a bunch of different units yet. It's a Garkin. Do we go for Totem or just the Fanatic? I feel like playing the Totem here would be a good idea. Because it spawns on either side. They'll get a reset on her order. Hopefully we can get this round. So we need to figure out if it's Golden Necker or Renfri or not. If it's either one of those, we really want to be bleeding that. And he hasn't committed a Flutter yet. Since we don't have control, Flutters are super scary. But if he doesn't have one yet... Okay, so it's Renfri vampires. Can't say I'm too surprised by that. Now we definitely go Burna. Drop our 2 discards. Okay, there's Coral. Should get us ahead. And then we can pressure him. It's definitely something we want to be doing here. Letting Melusine go to work. Okay, the RNG hit pretty well for us. Is this our last Fanatic is the question. No, we have one more. So we could play it here if we wanted to. I think we do want to. There's so much damage in this deck that I'm considering if we want to play Dagger. Could be fun.
Be not afraid. This'll only hurt.
There's the Roach. It's his first gold card played here. You have to watch out for a Meteor Shower or something. Got a lot of damage stuff. I think we'll play the Boar here. How much are you damaged by? So we get 8 there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 here. If we play this melee. I think we'll just do that. It's gonna be pretty good value for a 6 provision card. We're up by a good 14 here. He's got the Meteor Shower, I think, if he wants to keep in this round. The lack of Flutters is really helping us out. That's fine. He's not the leader. He does take 2 rain damage still. We could play Artis. It does thin our deck by 1. We'll play Artis. We get out a Fanatic. And that's the last card I think we want to play here. We should have Melusine ordered. I was thinking about Artis too much there. Could be really good for him. Then we hit the Artis. And how much do we... We're not gaining points a turn anymore. Is there anything bad we could get with Coral? I mean, yeah, we could hit Fukusha. We'd have to discard right. I think we go for it. Do we? I mean, we'd like to have most of those cards. We'll do it.
That might even be amusing.
Ooh, Restore we'd really like here. So I think we'll actually discard the right. The right's mainly to revive our Svalblood. So if we just hold him, we should be okay. We'll get the round here. Next round, he probably has an Igni. Is this past 20? It's past 20, so she's always going to get hit by the heat wave. We could open with just playing her. We do have the Peddler. We don't have Fukusha though, so we don't have to worry about that. I think for now we put these back. So we won on even. Do we bleed him here or not? Is a long round better for us round 3? I think we want to go Fukusha short round 3. And then here because flighters are really scary if we don't have ways to deal with them. That's a good point there. I think we'll play our Svalblood this round, then use Restore. Just want to bleed him if we can. Okay, there goes our Melusine, so we don't have to worry about that. It's not going to happen. Purify is bleeding off. It's nice that the totem and the ship can give you a point a turn if you have nothing else to synergize.
Satisfaction guaranteed.
Okay, that's pretty good for him. I think we drop Svalblood here. Then we can trigger this and trigger the Svalblood again. So there's a lock. Not too surprised by that, but we did get some good value already. It's because this +2 here. I think we'll just drop this guy out of our hand. Let's try and bleed out every card from him. We do have a finisher with Ursine Ritual Restore if we need it. One thing we do want to do is see if we can stay under an Igni. So we restore this guy. We're at 14. We want to get to 24. So that's +10, which is 5 damage. So I think we do here is we do hit this. Gets +10, so it goes to 21, and we take 2 bleeding, so we can hit him again. Let's hope this goes to the melee. Oh, it doesn't. Well, we could get in trouble because of that, then. We're at 26, yeah. I forgot this could spawn in a random row. This is Igni. We messed up here. There's the Renfri.
Wanna know why?
You should have to use the Renfri order, which is fine with us. And then our short round, we still have Fukusha. Leave Fukusha on something. Just the build card becomes a lot worse. You have to use this. Oh, that might not be enough points. What's the passive? He needs a good passive. The most he can do is 6, then 1 to adjacents here. Because we're not going to take the bleeding. So that's 6, 7, 8. So it does 8 damage. And then he needs 4 off the passive. He should be able to get that. No, he didn't get a good one. Just take the 2-0. Works out. Going up against Enslave here. Let's see what this is. We have Svalblood. We want Melusine. Artist wouldn't be bad either here to pressure around. We'll put this back here. Okay, Artist isn't bad, so I'll put one of these back. So I'm going to play one of those Artists. To make sure, because we could have drawn into the second Berserker, then we wouldn't be able to play anything with Artist. We do want to go Totem too. There's Helga. Okay, never mind. That's annoying. So we're just gonna be playing tactics, not units, and it is Enslave 6. Just drop this guy. It's the best thing we can open with that he might have trouble killing. Well, not trouble killing. It's like it'll be inefficient for him to kill. Saving up the damage, I see. Let's play a Totem. These guys aren't great because they die to 4 damage cards, but if he's hitting them with Hefty Helga, they'll transform, so he has to be a little less just spam Hefty Helga on stuff. They'll probably get Tourney Jousted or something, but you know, whatever. We just can't play our Melusine, though, because he could enslave it. He's just relying on Hefty Helga and like value cards like preparations and other tactics that don't just do damage. We should be okay. Because most of our stuff, we can make Hefty Helga inefficient. We can also do a huge point swing with our Svalblood if we want to. We just have to be careful with him. Because he has armor on his units, which isn't great, but we do have a bunch of guys we can transform. We want to wait till near the end of the round for that, I think. So there's a lock, sure. Okay, so he's going to start hitting things, that's fine. At some point, I think we want to do a big pressure with Svalblood and then drop Flaminica. Question is that next turn or not? So there's a coup. So he's getting a little desperate, it looks like. I think we go for the Svalblood here. Maybe big swing. Get their transforms. Now we're ahead. He does have an enslave. He could enslave our Svalblood here. That's the scary thing. But then he can't enslave Melusine and we can play her. I think he has to enslave the... Yeah, I think he has to do that. That's fine. Went for this because he's looking very reluctant on what he wanted to play. Alright, so what we can do here, we can do a transform on this. We're still triggering Swell Blood. We're still triggering Swell Blood, but that helps us more than him. They'll play the Flaminica for her heals. That should be pretty nice. So there's a Vilga Forts. This could be really bad, and it's perfectly fine. We still have one more target left for our Artist, right? We still have a Berserker. Let's play the Artist. This will trigger his Fall Blood again. But I'm pretty sure this Fall Blood is just hurting him more than us. So we do have ways to mitigate the damage. Alright, we win this on even. I guess it's hurting us a decent amount because the Flaminica died, but I was thinking we could transform with Arnvold and stuff. Dude, it went on even. Really nice. Unfortunately, we did lose our Swell Blood, but he had to use his leader for it. Probably a worthwhile trade. Coral with this is nice. Against Nilfgaard, I like having this. Because we don't have the Swell Blood anymore, so we can put it back. 2 discards. Ooh. We didn't burn a. I think we'll put one back. Just because we want to pressure this round. I think we can 2-0 him, or force out all this stuff. He does have a coup in his hand still.
My prescription, a bit of bloodletting.
That's a good choice by him. I think we still play the Coral.
I can do a great deal more for you.
Excuse me, let's do this. Hit it. Whatever. Get a point while we can. There's Ciri. I think we just... Oh, do we kill Ciri? We can kill Ciri, or we can put this next to the ship. I think I'd rather kill Ciri. Because we can still do this with the ship. We could have done this on Ciri, too. It's basically the same thing. There's the Arsud. To a Swell Blood. I think we Fukusha back the Flaminica, and then we're fine, right? I think we just Fukusha back the Flaminica.
Your descendants, my beloved. Sacrifices for Melusine, one and all.
So we're gonna lose our Flaminica now. And then he's gonna get another guy. Everything takes 1. I guess not. He does have 39 points. We'll just do an Arnvold transform. Although that will trigger the Swell Blood, so maybe not. We could just keep our stuff for the next round, too. We don't have to play everything here. If we play Burna, could it be bad? I guess. Go pass here. The Stefan's really the scary card. Got Burna into this, that's nice. This is all pretty good. There's the Garrison. That's not great for him. We'll play our Burna. We could revive Coral first. I think we want to revive our Melusine, so we'll keep this.
So be it.
Get rid of these. We've got some options here. I don't think the giant boar is going to be great, but Arnvold we can transform with this leader. I think we'll last say revive the Melusine.
Either with my shield or on it.
So I think we'll play Wildkarl this turn. He does have potentially a coup in his deck still.
And if I insert a needle here?
I'm just spying that so he can make it off coup. It's pretty good. I think we'll do our Arnvold here. So get a Bear Abomination, and then he'll transform this guy into one. Could have transformed this, but I don't know if that's actually worth it because he might have another control card, or another spine card or something. Because Ku's only 15, 16 here. It's not that big.
And the Empire for the ages.
So replaying that isn't really good. I mean, it's okay. It's not a bad card, but that's just gonna be a 4. This is a coup for 15 and we win still. Well, 16, 17 at this point, but yeah, we should be fine.
Watch us and keep us.
Not too bad at all. Guerilla tactics, so probably more Shiru.
No negotiation.
Seen quite a bit of Shiru in these few games we've played so far. Or not today, like the other day. That's last weekend. That's been seeing a bunch of Shiru. I guess it's still popular. Let's see, we've got... Now we have Burna, a discard. I don't think we really want Peller in this matchup. Then I think we'll put this back. Okay, Coral's nice to have. We don't have our skirmishers though, so going for the Burner discard might be a little not great. There's nothing we can really do about that. We'll play this.
That might even be amusing.
Now that is interesting. Knowing he has Shiru, well, most likely has Shiru, it means our round with Svalblood's gonna not be great because he'll just kill all the abominations.
You'll need take one plowing step further.
I think we play Artus.
Ain't no country for the weak.
Once we get to 6, we can do a big Svalbard play. Play the totem first, though. As long as he's damaging his units and we're not, we're good. Again, though, the Artist is just like a... It's an augment to the deck. It's not the key point. We don't need Artist to live. So yeah, this is going to be movement spam. Not too surprised by that. Will be hard to keep up in this round without our Svalbard. We're going to take so much damage from our own cards if we play the Svalbard, though. That's the issue. That's not too bad if we do. Let's play him. We won't go for that transform yet. Go for the second booster. Makes sense. A lot of engine value there. I just hit Svalbard twice. That's pretty bad, actually. We'll use Renew here, I think. So we'll hit this. Then we'll hit him with Renew, because he's getting pretty low. Do an Arnville transform next turn, or this coming turn. There's an Igni. Okay, that's not too surprising. I think he's outvaluing us now. Do we have a good Fukusha target, though? Not really. If we play this... He gets what? 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Like 2 damage, 2 damage. Wait, it's not 2 damage yet. It's 1 damage, 2 damage, 3, 4, 5, 6. Goes to 31. We need 12 points to match him. This gives us 2. This transforms for 10. Okay, we'll do that. Should be up by 1 unless we counted wrong, which is certainly a possibility. I think having the Arnvold in the graveyard for Fukusha might be worth quite a bit later on. We'll see. There's Gezros. Gezros certainly means we're out of this round, though. So he'll take it here in this first round. The Igni is gone, though. Does need whatever he's trying to set up, which is probably a Shiru. It's going to work, though. We need to keep that in mind. He's probably just going to pass here, then... I don't know, he's going to go for the Milva. Okay. That's fine, I guess. Do we Fukusha back our Coral here? I think we do.
Sacrifices must be made on both sides.
Not the likes of overseas plundering in spring.
We want to try win a card advantage here. And if we can avoid getting Shiru'd, that would be nice. Unlike Precision Strike, though, he can only boost the Shiru, right? You can't damage the Shiru down, so it's a 3 or a 6, unless he's got another way to boost it. Okay, double Harvest coming out.
Feign not ignorant. Remember to whom you speak.
I think we want to go on the Melusine next turn. We're not going to get a card advantage here because the Milva's going to... Or the Saskia's going to trigger again. Did I call her Milva before? I think I may have.
Your best will avenge us, Dwan.
Is he going to trigger next turn? Coral's alive. It might still be Burna time, but we have 2 discarders. I guess we just got the 1. It does do 4 damage, so it has a good chance of actually killing the Saskia, so I think that's the best choice.
So be it.
And then we will discard here. Discard this, I guess, and then this. Hopefully it hits this. It didn't, but it was like a 40% chance we killed her. It was worth going for, though.
Ah, if she true.
Are you fucking kidding me? Catnip instead of crown.
It's got all this engine stuff going again. We'll play our... play this.
With a daemon in the light of the full moon.
Healing should help out quite a bit. We'll play our Melusine in that row. He's going to have to move something. There's an Erendite, so he's just trying to protect her. That makes sense. Play our Melusine here. We don't get a card advantage anymore, but it looks like he's a long round focused deck, so it's not the worst thing. If we get our Melusine boosted up and we just bring it back, we should be fine for round 3 then. You also bring back our Svalblood too. Okay, that's just trying to avoid the Flaminica, I guess.
The realm of the living severs your chain. Abandon now your mortal stain.
That's not too bad. We can just trigger the champion transform. So we'll go with the rain. Drop Vildkarl. Hit him with this. And Melusine will transform him. And that should give us quite a bit of points. You can just pass here. He's trying to bleed us. But, that's not really going to help him out too much. Although he is up quite a bit, so maybe we do have to play this. Question is, do we have to play our Sigvald? He gets what? This moves and does 2 damage. So that's 2. This will move then, so that's 3. He gets 3 points minus 2, so he gets an extra point. We need 16. We need 16. If we go with right, I don't think we get 16 with this. We have to play this.
What do you need?
I think we have to do this too. Then we heal him off of this. We do end up with a card advantage. We don't get to keep our Svalblood, which is annoying. But he seems to be a very long round focused deck, so we should, with a card advantage, probably have a chance here. Thing is, we don't have great cards left. Especially not this one and this one. No discards means, oh, that's not good. This is not good. Well, that wasn't great, but at least we can use this ability here to get +2, which is certainly going to be worth it, right? At least he didn't have anything good here with the Hengaith sword. the Erendite, though. Oh, Erendite's in his hand. It's his only Echo card. We can... no, we can't trigger the Savagery. I was thinking if we could actually kill this, we might have a chance here. I think the Erendite's going to be too big, especially if he kills this. I think the Erendite's just too big. No, we win by 1 with the 2 damage Primal Savagery. What a finisher. Okay. I guess we still managed this one in the end. GG. So that's the deck, guys. There's a lot of options here, which I think is great. So you can see that we do a ton of damage to ourselves in the deck. So Ursine might actually be worth it in this, which is funny enough. And I really like the Flaminica. You can get some big heals with her. Seems like a good idea. And I like having her in the deck. Arnvold seems really good. Giant Boar, I'm not so sure about. This could be a lock or something instead. Or you could use this, and I think we'll take out the Primal Savageries and turn them into 5s. Probably the Veterans would be good. With so much self-damage, it might be worth considering the Sigvald as well. The reason I didn't play him, the Signal and not the Callus, is because we don't have a lot of provision slots, and we do a lot of 1 damage to ourselves, not like 10 at one time, which is where Sigvald is really good. But maybe it's worth it. I think you could definitely make a case for them. It's just hard to fit all of that. So options there I think would be good. You probably cut the right and Melusine, and then you put them in there. Or you can go with a version where you have like Dagger. We do so much damage playing this that Dagger seemed like it'd be good. Olaf too is a good option here. So, and if you're doing so much damage, Arnagod's not bad. I think there's a lot of choices here, which I think is really cool. So I think there's a lot of options here. This 10 slot here, the Melusine, and this right. If you want to play 2 Sigvald, or 2 Svalbloods, highly recommended by the way. I would keep this. But you can cut the Melusine, the Flaminica, and the Giant Boar. So that's what, 22 provisions in 3 slots? Yeah, so 22 in 3 slots. So you can play 2 4s, and then you have 14 provisions. So you can fit a lot there. It's like whatever you want to play for the upper end. There's some good choices for sure. And this was really fun. I really had a lot of really good time with the Svalbard blowing things away. It's a fun deck to play. Didn't see much other than Nilfgaard and some Squirtle though, so no Dagons yet, which I thought we might see quite a bit of, but it's also worth mentioning that you can cut the Fukusha. If you're going to cut Melusine, I think you can cut Fukusha, although she's obviously always really good. I like having her to bring back Flaminica or something if you need to, but yeah, you can cut her. Maybe you run the new tier. I don't think he works super well in the deck, but he's still pretty good. You can run whatever you want, so there's a lot of options in the upper end, and we'll definitely be experimenting with them. Anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this. Try out some of these decks yourselves. Let me know what works best for you, and we'll see you guys in the next one. That'll be it for this one, guys. Hope you enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more. And you can check out some more videos over here. And thanks for watching.